Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. Before we get started, the actor that plays Ray is going to be leaving. Um, I don't know if it was his choice or if they told him to kick rocks. I have no idea, but I just kind of want to put it out there before I get started on the review, and I forget. So I was thinking about that all day. That all my other reviews, I was like, Ray's leaving. Got to make sure I remember to sit there and say that. I was net there reading on IG, that, people were complaining that they didn't really give him anything to do. They didn't really give him a good story. And to be honest, since I started watching the show, I can pretty much agree with that. They didn't even bother to say her name when she came in there. Um, Abby's mother, Ashley, they didn't bother to sit there and say her name. It's just, show starts, she's there looking at, her grandchild, and that was about it. And I'm like, so is somebody going to sit there and clue me on her name? No? No? And throughout this whole episode, nothing. Nothing. Actually, to tell you the truth, I went on, um, CBS to try to find out her name because, they have the characters' names on there, and she wasn't even there. I'm like, Allie was there. Okay. So anyway, they're talking with Chase, and Chase is sitting there talking about going back to work. Now, Ashley has some concerns. She's like, "Really? Is that? You don't think that that's too soon?" And then there's this awkward pause, and she kind of walks it back a little bit. When Chase is like, my therapist says it's a good my therapist says it's good for me to go back to work, and Abby supports me, and she's like, yeah, no, I support you. If y'all two are cool with it and your therapist is cool with it, then I'm totally cool with it. I'm like, I know this woman is lying. um I know she wants to be cool with it, but I know she's not. I'm not, but for some odd reason it's so popular logic, so we're gonna do it anyway. Now, I don't know what her issue is with Phyllis, but when she walked up to her, it's like I don't know, she just kind of put me in a mood. She really put me in a mood. Um, she starts berating her about Phyllis encouraging a relationship between Jack and Allie, like he's not a grown ass man and he can't make up his own mind, his own decisions. She wants to sit there and be like, well, I don't know her and I don't trust her, and how could you sit there and encourage this relationship? I'm like, you do realize that Jack is a grown ass man, right? Like you are aware of that. Like that just, I'm not gonna lie, it pissed me off. Um Abby tries to calm down the situation. Phyllis apologizes, and Ashley's just like, "Yeah, well, I accept." I'm like, "Yeah, already, I don't like him." I was like, "Yeah, I don't like you at all." I understand her reservations towards this person that she doesn't know, and she doesn't want Jack to get hurt, and she's very protective of her family and friends. I get that, but the way that she went about it was just something that just rubbed me the wrong way. Now, Jack meeting up with Allie, I'm gonna be honest, it was just painful to watch. It was really painful to watch. Allie overreacted over a simple comment. Um, Jack regretted, his time that he lost with chemo, and you know that he didn't push harder for a relationship. And it's one of those things where it's like, I know that some people are enjoying the storyline and bless their hearts. And listen, I'm one of those people that do not. How you feel about the show is how you feel about the show. And I respect that. It, it got kind of annoying And it was a little hard to sit there and watch him blame himself for pretty much a grown ass man that decided he wanted to act like a teenager, with the way that Jack handled the situation. And, Allie was like, I wasn't really too sure how I felt about getting to know you. I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot of patience. I know some of these stories aren't for everyone. This is clearly not for me as far as that particular part. And I just yeah, yeah, it just didn't work for me at all. I mean, listen, I guess it's nice that they're building bridges and throughout those stumbles and everything like that. They did um, you know, have somewhat of a middle ground. Even when Ali was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go," but maybe we could sit there and see each other next time. Like she didn't close off the door, even though their first interaction together, as far as them meeting up, was terrible. Okay, it was. It could have been worse, but it was still terrible. But she didn't close the door. She comes back and she gives Taylor a gift, for her advice and stuff. Now, Taylor's like, all right, cool, listen, if you can do me a favor. And the favor is Allie called Jack up to meet at the house, and Allie was like, "Yeah, well, I gave the new person a gift, and they wanted a favor. They want to sit there and have a meet with you in person, and I hope that's okay." I was like, wait. Let me get this straight. A woman that you don't know said that they want to meet Jack in person, and you agreed to that. And the way she said it, she was just like, "Oh, oh, I hope that's okay." You don't think that's odd that the one request that she asked was to meet your grandfather in person? She doesn't know you off the bat. She clearly doesn't know your grandfather, I imagine. So why would she want to meet him in person? And why would she ask you to? Isn't she supposed to be some sort of engineer or something? Yeah. I am trying not to trash this girl already. I am trying not to trash this girl more than I already am, but I just don't understand how you could just be that stupid. I mean, there's naive, and then there's her. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. So what the hell is going on with Noah at this point? You got Sharon and Ray, which, by the way, after finding out that he's leaving and then seeing him in a scene like this, it's like, yeah, I can understand why he's leaving if he wants to leave because he's not really doing much of anything. But they're sitting there. You got Sharon. Worried about Noah being with different girls. You know, sleeping in late or whatever, coming in looking like who done it, and she's worried. And she thinks that it has a lot to do with trying to get over his feelings with Tessa and respecting his feelings, respecting Mariah and everything like that. Like she just doesn't know what's going on. And Ray's like, listen, you know what? Listen, maybe he's just letting loose a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Now Noah does wake up, and he has a note from I guess either a new girl, hopefully whoever it is, it's a new girl because that last one that want to be that want to inspire to be a social media influence. I cannot. I hope it's a new girl. Anyway, he gets a note, um, and he gets down. I guess he goes down to go get something to eat, and he runs across Noah. I mean, he runs across Ray, and Ray's like, "Did you get dressed in the dark? Like, what's going on? Like, what's all that about?" Sharon asks him like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" This, that, and the third. He's like, "I'm fine. I'm good. I'm working." Like. I'm good. You don't need to sit there and worry about me. I'm fine. So they spot Tessa and Mariah, and he comes over there. I guess he gives her, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember exactly what he gave them, but he gave them some sort of wedding present. I think like music or music selection, music like a bunch of music like selections or whatever. He gave them some sort of gift, and they both liked it. And Mariah went to guy, I guess, talk to Sharon. And Tess is like, "Yo, you good? Like, what's going on with you?" And I was sitting there thinking, like, "Yo, I don't really see the problem. I mean, unless he's not actually going to work, or he's going to work late, he's going into work, he's meeting different girls. Like, that's kind of normal to me. I don't really understand what's going on." But Tess is like, "Yo, listen, what's going on with you?" I don't understand why she thought that something was up with him unless it was his appearance, but she asks and she pushes, and I'm gonna be honest, the way that she pushed, I was like, this could have easily backfired, and he could have just snapped at her. But he does sit there and say, like, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's wrong with me, and what am I doing at this point? And I'm like, is this because you're not with Tess? Like, I don't really understand where this is coming from. I do remember when I was watching this a while back, he was talking about um I think he was an artist or whatever, and like he was talking about how it wasn't fulfilling him or something like that. Like something was going on with him during that whole wedding with Victoria. So whatever that is, it seems like it's still following him. Um, I am interested to sit there and see where it goes with him, because sometimes with these characters, I feel like some people just get lost in the shuffle. They really get lost in the shuffle. And when they're not doing much of anything, then you see them kind of just disappear. Also, from what I heard, and granted this is maybe just a rumor because I gotta sit there and check my facts, but the last person that played Chance, I think, is coming back. Somebody's coming back. I don't know if it's Chance or someone, but I think it might be the last actor that played Chance may be coming back. So I don't know what that means for the new Chance, but um, yeah. Towards the end of the episode, Chance does talk to Abby. Now, okay, I'm kind of telling this out of order. So Chance talked to Ray, and he was like, "Oh, listen, I want to sit there and talk to you. I want to come back on the force." And Ray's like, "You sure that's a good idea? What does your therapist say?" And he was like, "Yeah, my therapist thought it was a good idea." Um, and so he was like, "I want to come back." And Ray's like, "Are you sure you want to come back? Because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself at this job. And the last time that happened, you froze and, you don't want to have another setback." I'm sitting there thinking, listen, I get that that's all nice and good and well. You want to make sure that, he doesn't have another setback and that he's good. But I feel like we're just, ignoring the glaring, obvious problem that, you are in a life or death situation with this man and you rely on this person to have your back in these high stress situations. Okay. And you're asking if he's going to be no, bro, you should be asking, are you good? Because, bro, I'm not trying to get any bullets in me. Like that's literally what it comes down to. And I don't know. Listen, they're I gotta sit there and say that they are doing, my opinion, that they're doing a good job with the PTSD storyline. And how he's dealing with it and it's affecting him and everything like that. But while you're doing a good job on that, you're failing to mention the problems with him actually coming back to work. It's not like he's coming back to any sort of regular job or whatever. You're coming back to a job that other people rely on you for life or death situations, and you're just like, "Hey man, I just want to make sure that you don't get a setback." Okay, sure. Anyway, Chance says that he's ready, so Ray's like, we'll talk to the captain, because he seemed like he's on board for some odd reason, and I'm like, Okay, sure." And towards the end of the episode, Chance says that he got the green light and go back to work, and he's going back to work tomorrow. And Abby was like, "Oh, kind of thought it's gonna be a little bit longer than that, but hey, I'm totally cool with it, and I support you." And yeah, and I'm like, Abby, are you just saying that to make him feel better, or do you really mean that? I, I don't know. I don't know the character too well. I don't know where her brain level is, so I'm just gonna go with it now. But I, you know what? I think I've already kind of expressed my opinion about that, so let's just move on from that. Oh yeah, I didn't say. So after Allie, asked the dumb question of, "Do you think that was a good idea for you to meet this total stranger?" That this total After she did all that, the woman named Taylor comes out, and Jack is like, "Yo, this can't be like." Apparently, Taylor or whatever her real name is her name Taylor, by the way? Because if it's not, I would like to know her real name. Um, that'd be very, very good to know her real name, so that way I won't come across as a dumbass. But my point is, apparently she must have like died or whatever, or because I kept sitting there reading these different articles of she's coming back from the dead. So I don't know what's going on, but I gotta really sit there and do my research tomorrow, try to find out the circumstances behind her death and how she just come back from the dead. Um, but yeah, he's looking at her like he's seeing a ghost. So yeah. Now I'm sitting there thinking back. I'm sitting there thinking back, and I'm looking at today's episode with Mariah and Tess, and I almost felt like they were somewhat. I feel like the only purpose that they served in this episode was to get Noah to admit when he was talking to Tess that he knows that he has a problem, but he just doesn't know what's going on with him. Because other than that, I mean, like what were they there doing? I mean, they're still sitting there talking about this wedding that still didn't happen yet. It just kind of seemed like they were somewhat pointless, but they made it a point because it got Noah to open up, and I guess that's the good part. That is actually the good part because now we know that there's something going on with him. We can explore that, but other than that, it's like, what was Tessa Mariah like? Like, or what are their importance in this episode again? Because I'm still somewhat lost in that. Other than the Noah part, it seemed like it was pointless. And I feel like that's about it. I really do. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.